Okay, in this section we're going to be talking about the ports. First is the input port, the main input port with an LED indicator here when it's charging. This is used with solar, car, and wall charging. The car and wall charger are included, and the charging times for wall charging from 0 to 100% for all of these. The wall charger is 4.5 hours. Solar is around 5 hours, and the car charging is around 5 hours as well. The in and out USB-C PD port, this is a 60 watt in and out maximum. The charging time, if you were to use this port to charge the system up, is around 5.5 hours just using that port. Now you can combine this USB-C with the wall charger and charge it in around 2.5 to 3 hours, which is the fastest recharging method using both of them. So with this USB section, we have the, I'll turn this on so you can see the little button light up. You press this to activate this port section. The USB-C port we already discussed, so we'll get into this next one, which is a USB-A, but it's a quick charge 3.0, so it will get at most around 18 to 19.5, something like in that area, in that ballpark, in wattage. And then this is a standard USB-A port, which gets a maximum of 12 watts. So I'll turn this off, and then we'll go into this other DC port right here. This is the 12 volt 10 amp as seen here, cigarette lighter port or car port. This one has a port cover on it, which is a nice little addition. However, just feeling it right now and how loose it is compared to some other systems I've reviewed 2 portable power stations recently that have a marine grade port cover for the cigarette lighter port. That is the Rockpal's Rock Power 500 and the OUPES, OUPES power station. They both have the marine grade version, and that's a lot more protective. However, this is still a nice little touch. So then I'll turn that off, and then we'll go into the AC port section. And what's cool is that I did hear the inverter or the cooling fans give a little whine as they turned on. Let me go ahead and do that again for you guys, just so you could hear it. And here we go. So that's a nice little added touch, but these AC ports have a 300 watt continuous rating and then a 500 watt surge rating. And that does it for the input and output ports. And now let's get into the display screen. So simply by clicking the display button, I was able to turn the screen on, but if you notice, I'm pressing the button again and it's not turning off. That's because this is permanently on a sort of sleep mode. I haven't seen this with any other systems I've tested, but since it's such a small screen and there's really not too much power that it's using, it makes sense to just have it on this sleep mode to basically make it easier for you to use. So no on-off button, just you click it and then eventually it will go away. The first here is the input wattage. We have the output wattage, the battery status indicator, as well as the percentage of the battery. And that's pretty much it. Now I'll just get into the accessories included with the Explorer 300. I did get this from eBay, so it's not brand new. However, it was barely used, so everything you see in here will be in the Explorer 300 that you receive from either Amazon or Jackery, wherever you decide to get it. It does have this nice little pouch here. It's soft, and it has these zippers on it, as well as this little loop that you could attach to whatever you may need. And it opens about halfway. It does not open fully. And we have a few things in here. First is the user manual. I'll get into that in a second here. Next we have the car charger. It looks pretty long and very simple. Has the Jackery logo on it. And lastly here we have the AC charger. So we have the first plug here, and then we have the brick with the input port right here. Output right here is 90 watts, and that's pretty powerful for a 300 watt solar generator, and that's nice. So 90 watts, we will be testing that, of course. Here we have the user manual for the 300. Let's just go ahead and open it up a little bit. This is everything that is included, and there will probably be some sort of warranty card that is included with yours, and I did not receive like a warranty card because I bought this from eBay, and the warranty doesn't apply to me. Then we have the different specifications. You do have a reset function here. Please try to hold the display power button for 8 seconds to reset the battery. So if your system seems to not be working right, before using the warranty to maybe get a new one or refurbish it, you can always try and reset it. And we have more display icons, and this is actually really important. We have the different, it looks like these are all different warnings. Let's see what they are. So this first one, battery has been drained out. That will be right there. We have, so the battery is all done. You got to recharge it. And then you have a little warming tip. Suggested to recharge the battery before the power drops below 15%, and please don't drain out the battery. Next we have the battery was overcharged icon, which is right next to the drained icon. And it says, shows that the battery was overcharged. Please try to hold the display power button for 8 seconds to reset the battery and try to charge to see. Okay, next we have overloaded. Shows the power station is overloaded. Please kindly check the power of your device and hold the display power button. So another reset. Now overloaded, that means that you are using a device or appliance that is drawing too much power, and if that happens and the 300 can't handle it, then this icon will let you know. And then we have a high and low temperature warning, and it will show up basically right in the middle there of all the icons. Alright, so it's about 12 o'clock. The sun is pretty bright out, and it is the beginning of the fall, and I'm going to go ahead and see how much solar we can get into the Jackery 300. This is the Elecanta solar panel, and I'm going to connect this yellow connector that it comes with to the Jackery because it seems to fit. Now I'm going to plug it in, see how much power we can get. This will take up to 90 watts. Just plugged it in. Looks like immediately we're getting 67 watts. So still getting 67 watts. You can see there's a little blue light on there that's showing that it's charging, but it's kind of odd for me that it's only pulling 67 watts because, I mean, obviously the sun it's 12 o'clock, so it's at its highest point, I think, right now. And it's not, the solar panel is not hiding behind those trees at all, as you can see, but it's a 120 watt solar panel. I really don't think it's the solar panel. Okay, so something very strange happened. Now we could see the Explorer 300 is pulling 88 watts, which is awesome. That is a conclusive yes, that it is living up to its expectations of 90 watts maximum. But the very strange thing is that it was only pulling 66 to 67, as you just saw, yet I didn't do much to adjust it. But the solar panel, I simply just like separated it like that way more, just so it could expand. And it expanded maybe an inch, just like a little more, and I adjusted the angle to be a little more tilted that way, and moved it a little more that way, like maybe like half a foot or a foot that way. And now it's getting what it really needs, and that's that 86, 87 watts. So that Elecanta solar panel, I'll link to it above. I did a review on it. This might be a great option for you. Otherwise, you could also look at the Jackery solar panels, the Solar Saga 60 watt and the 100 watt panel. But overall, this is a success. Right now, it looks like there's some cloud cover, like a very small cloud going over the sun, so we're getting less wattage, but overall, it's a successful solar charge for the 300. Alright guys, so we are testing the solar charging once again. It's been a little while since that last test, but I'm going to see if I can get any more watts out of the solar panel and into the Jackery. Let's see how we do. It's a perfect day. Not a cloud in the sky. Looks like the panel has full coverage of the sun. And I'm going to go ahead and plug it in right now. $67. Now this is the same number that was showing up before I adjusted the solar panel last time. Sorry, you can't see that, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mess with the panel, and I'll do what I did last time. It's a little confusing, but I'll bet you that it'll go up once I just do some weird adjusting. Okay, I just did a few things, and I was unsuccessful until just now. We getting 85 watts instead of those 66, 67, and all I did was move the panel from here to here. I didn't mess with the angle or anything, and even this panel isn't fully straight, but I literally just moved it from a little lower spot on the ground to a little higher spot on the ground. I want to say that maybe one of these, like that tree or something, got caught in the way. But as you can see, 84 watts. It's pretty close to the 90 watt maximum. So there you have it. Now I'm going to test the AC charger and see how much power that we will get. 90 watts is what it says for charging, and we will just go ahead and confirm it. Alright, I have the wall charger plugged in and the blue light indicating it's ready to charge the Jackery, and now I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. Okay, so the blue light is on, saying it's charging, and we have a total of 77 watts coming in. Although 77 watts is a lot of input power for a portable power station like this, of this size, it still did not meet, not even close to its specification of 90 watts. So that's a little upsetting, but it'll still charge up in a relatively quick time. Also to note, when the charger's on, you will have that little blue light on the power brick, just also signaling that there is power coming to it. So what I noticed on this is when I'm charging through the AC input, I realized that the cord is a little exposed. When I plugged it in, I thought it would keep going in. So just a little notice, I guess. It's not going to go all the way in. But 77 watts from the AC input. It is now time for the car charger. Plugged in, it was actually kind of tough to plug it in. I had to sort of twist it around a little bit. And there's also no light that indicates that it's on. So just keep that in mind, that you won't really see any verification that it's on. But I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. We have 80 watts coming in, which is a lot. The OPS power station, which is a lot bigger than this one, charged at 48 to 49 watts. And this one is really kicking butt right now. So it's giving you almost what the AC adapter would give you from the wall. So it's pretty cool. And this would definitely be an effective way to charge this thing up. A kind of road trip or something. Now I'm going to use the Sherpa power bank to charge through the USB-C PD port, and hopefully get that same 57, 58 watts we were getting into the Jackery to charge it up. Alright, I just turned the Sherpa on, and we are getting 53 watts. Let me move it up. 54 watts, 53, right in between there. But you're going to get at least the 54 or 53 watts coming back into here, and you could also combine it with the AC charger to charge up. And I'll go ahead and plug in the AC charger right now so you get a quick view of its input. Okay, I got the AC charger plugged into the wall, And you know what's interesting? I just noticed this. Even without any input in the input section, it's actually lighting up when the PD port is charging, is using itself to charge. I really like that, and I didn't know that was a feature of this until this now, but let me go ahead and plug this in. Right now we're getting about 54 watts just with the USB. Now let's see what we can get. So 121 watts, and I think that might be the limit. It just stopped right there at 121. I think I was expecting a little more because the AC right here, that charger is rated for 100, or not 100, but 90 watts maximum, and this one is 60 watts maximum. So 150 would have been what I probably would have been like pretty cool with. But this is pretty low actually for what I was thinking. And we have 60 watts coming out of the Sherpa while it's charging with the AC charger. But we're still getting 121 watts coming in. I'm gonna see if I can mess with this plug and possibly get more wattage coming into it. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, the fastest charge time with these two inputs is about 2.5 hours from 0 to 100% battery. And since it's 2.5 hours and this thing is just about 300 watt hours, this makes sense because in 2 hours from 0, this is going to be at 240 watt hours, and then half of this is 60. So this is actually charging at the correct pace. So from what I can tell, either the AC charger or the USB PD, USB-C PD, one of them is not giving as much power and putting as much into the system. It's either that or the MPPT charge controller is taking away the extra charge, so it could be 150, 160 watts trying to get in, but the MPPT could probably only handle a certain amount of power at any given time. I'm not sure if the USB-C PD port has an MPPT, or is connected to the MPPT, but I'm leaning towards yes. However, since this is rated for 90 watts and this is for 60 watts maximum, you're not going to get the 150 total watts, but you are still going to get that 2.5 hour charge time. And that is the fastest charging method for the Jackery 300. So still just got done charging this up, but I thought I'd mention that the fans really didn't make any noise at all. The cooling fans, they were probably on, but I have like a one and then a second fan underneath my desk that's making more noise than this was. So overall, it's pretty quiet when you're charging up, even from the fastest charging method. Usually you'll hear a decent amount of cooling action going on, and plus my office is actually pretty humid right now, so overall it has a nice quiet sound to it when it's charging up, even from the fastest charging method. But we'll see how the AC ports play out when we're trying to get to that 300 watt continuous rating. Now we're going to be using the USB-C connector to charge the Sherpa from the Jackery. Let's see how it plays out. All right, it's plugged in. Now I'm just going to turn on the USB port. And 58. There we go. 57, 58 watts. So that is exact. Yep. So the output works, 60 watt. Now to test the USB-A, we'll start with the quick charge one back there, and then we'll work down to the standard one. And we're getting 13 watts out on the Jackery. Let's see if we're getting the same reading coming in. It says we have 12 watts coming in. That's the maximum rating for the standard USB, but this is the quick charge 3.0. I had the same problem if you saw my last power station video on it's called the OPS power station. This happened to me as well with the same port on that one. I plugged it into this and got a 12 watts maximum out. So this must be my own testing, and I'll have to find another unit to something else besides the Sherpa, because it looks like it can only handle 12 watts maximum. Now I'm just going to test the lower port here. We have 7 watts coming out to charge this up. Let's confirm it. Now this one's at the 12 watts maximum, just like the other one. And on the Jackery, it's saying 13 watts are coming out. So both the Quick Charge 3.0 and the standard USB-A are charging my Sherpa power bank at the exact same rate. And this isn't, I don't think it's the Jackery's fault, because this happened with another power station of mine. It's got to be the way I'm charging this. The USB-A Quick Charge, that should get up to, at the most, like 19 and a half watts out of here. Alright, so now I'm just going to test every USB port out to see if it will output a correct amount of power to the devices that it's charging. First, on top we have the USB-C charging the Sherpa, and then we have the middle one charging my phone that I'm holding right now, and then the bottom one here, the orange one, is going to charge this older Jackery Bolt. Let's go ahead and just see how much power that we will be able to output. And that's actually really funny, because I did not even press that. I mean, I literally just grazed against it and it would like turn on right away. That's funny. I mean, yeah, that thing turned on right when I turned on the display. Okay, so we have 76 watts. Let's see, let me try and angle this. So 59 to 60 watts coming into the Sherpa from the USB-C PD port, and then the remaining 14 to 15 watts are going to the Jackery Bolt. You can see it's charging up, as well as my phone that I'm holding right now. So we got a good 74 watt output from all the ports combined, and it can probably get even higher, but unfortunately I do not have the right equipment or USB charging equipment to use that Quick Charge 3.0. So all of them are working accordingly. As I was turning everything, about to turn the USBs off, I went to press this port, and as you can see, it's staying on even when I press it. Now let me hold it down and see if it turns off. No. So that is something just to know. You have to unplug these ports. You can't just press these buttons when it comes to the USB outputting power. So I just took out both USB-As, and now we just have the USB-C, and it still comes back on. So just a quick note to pull the plug out. Okay, now we are going to use the car charger. I'm going to plug it in here, test the output, and I'm going to be connecting it to the input of the big dude. This is the Jackery 1000. I got this around the same time as the 300. I was feeling it, so I just got the smaller one and the bigger one to review, and this will be exciting. I've been waiting especially for this one a long time. However, I'm going to be plugging it into the input here. This can take in over 160 watts, and this will only be outputting a maximum of 120, but it is regulated, so it might push out maybe like 130 watts maximum. We'll find out in a sec. Okay, I got it all plugged in, and now I'm going to connect it to the Jackery 1000 and see what the maximum input wattage is. One click. Let's see the reading. It'll take a second. but I'm seeing the Jackery light up. Got that sticker on there still, but you could see 76, 75 watt input here. And let's see if it says the same on this one. Yes, it does. 76 consistently. Let's go ahead and turn both ports on and see how much power will be outputted out of this. I'm actually going to turn the fan off behind me. And so as you can see, it's running really smoothly. And I'm feeling the vents right now, and I don't feel anything. So it looks like the AC ports are pretty much the only ones that really need the fan unless you keep this going for a while. I'm sure that they will kick on eventually. Okay, so this is the best that I could do. I got one of my most ridiculous looking setups here to show you guys what these AC ports can do. I don't have everything plugged in yet. I'm going to see how much power comes out and then add to it if need be. So let's see how we do. Oh. So it made that little inverter noise. Okay, this is the first time I'm actually hearing the fans. It's blowing out this section and it's like lukewarm air. It's outputting 91 watts to the, I don't know if you could see the OPS power station. Now I'll go ahead and turn on the little power strip here with the laptop charger and USB ports. This is the fan that's not on, and then this is the Jackery 1000 charger. Let's see what we get it up to. There we go. Okay. Now the fans are running pretty, not loud, but it's the first time I've really heard a decent amount of noise. But it's not annoying. Actually, you could hear the noise of the fans running in that more than you can really hear this. But now we're at 258, 250 something. Let me go ahead and plug in these LED strip lights. I think these give out 40 watts. We'll see. Okay, 273. Now let's get it as close as we can to the 300. I'm going to go ahead and turn on this fan on its lowest setting. But now we're getting real close to that 300 number. I'm just going to turn it up one more setting so I could... Oh, it was a 301. There we go. All right, I'm not going to go any further with that because I don't want to damage it, but there you have it. The fans aren't going any more aggressively than they were, and it's not even aggressive. It's just, you could hear it, but it's not like it's just shooting air out. Plus, it's humid in here, and it's still working well. A little less power, but it's in the vicinity of 300 watts. But there you have it. The AC ports, they're working well. I'm not going to leave this on forever. I think for the most part, if you really need the 300 watts, you'll be able to supply power. Now the thing is if you use this amount of power, it's going to last literally an hour. I mean, you have 293 watt hours in here, and that's all you're going to get is an hour of work for all of this stuff. And I mean, if you're using this to power all this stuff for that long, then you might want to get something a little bigger like this big guy. So that's the AC test, and now I'm going to let this thing cool down, and I'll go ahead and get to the next section. So right as I turned off the power strip, I left the charger for the other portable power station on, and the fans went off almost right as I pressed the button to turn off the power strip. So there must be some sort of limit to like some sort of heat temperature reading inside of the Jackery 300. So there's no fans that I can hear of. There's no air blowing out of the AC port. like it just was. And that's it for the AC section. Let's go ahead and get on over to the next section. So I bought this system from eBay, and the reason why is because I couldn't get it on Amazon. It was listed as unavailable or currently unavailable. Now Jackery, I checked their website and it just relays you back to Amazon to buy it there. But since it's not available there, there's nowhere to really get it except for maybe eBay or some marketplace like Facebook Marketplace. Like that's a slight chance. That being said, since the Explorer 300 is on their website, on Jackery's website, I don't think it is fully discontinued or even discontinued. I am guessing that they ran out of the supply for this and they're restocking it. I don't know for sure, but since you could still click the individual Explorer 300 page and the solar generator version with solar panels, I don't think that it will be fully discontinued. However, if they don't resupply it by the time you see this video, maybe you want it, then I have in my article a comparison between similar systems to this one in the 300 watt hour category, and that might give you another option if you're looking for something like this that is not exactly the Explorer 300. Now, my article also talks about some other things I didn't mention in the video. The video was just too long. I didn't want to just make it like an hour long. But I have some other frequently asked questions regarding this system specifically and Jackery models in general. I also have solar panel pairings. Now it's just the two Jackery solar panels and then my own solar panel I use, and I talk about the pros and cons and which one is best for you. I also talk about the overall construction of this and the ruggedness factor. So if you want to use it outdoors, is it actually going to be usable or is it going to be too fragile? And that is all I have for you guys. I hope you got some good information from this video. I do like the Explorer 300. There's a lot of great factors about this. However, I have found some other models that I think would be better for me, but for my purposes only. This is an excellent system if you're looking for the lightest possible option that you can fit in your backpack and that has the most battery capacity that you could reasonably fit in your backpack. This would be it. So if you're camping, this is probably the best option for the most power that is still portable in a backpack. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like the video if you got something out of it. Comment if you have any questions. I'll do my best to get back to you. And if you want to see more unboxings and frequently asked questions answered and updates, things like that about solar in general, portable solar, then subscribe and hit the bell notification. And hopefully I'll see you in another video.